Welcome to Stephen AI FM, America at War, Iran Under Attack. Today, in our AI Weekly Digest, we're looking at a war that started in the Middle East and is now somehow knocking on NATO's door. We're going to break down exactly how this escalating conflict between the United States and Iran has gone completely global.
And let's just start with this. This is a chilling statement from U.S. officials. This isn't a declaration of victory, not even close. It's a promise that there is much more to come, and it really sets the stage for a conflict that is just getting bigger and more intense with every single day. So, just how wide has this war actually become? I mean, we're not just talking about strikes inside Iran anymore. The battlefield has exploded into international waters, and it's pulling in brand new players and seriously raising the stakes for absolutely everyone. To give you an idea of the sheer scale here, U.S. Central Command has already hit over 2,000 targets across Iran since this whole thing started. But what's happening outside the country? Well, that might be even more important. This slide really shows you the two critical ways this is expanding. First, off the coast of Sri Lanka, a U.S. submarine sank an Iranian frigate, that's a type of warship, in what is a historic first since World War II. At the exact same time, NATO's air defenses shot down an Iranian ballistic missile, a long-range rocket, over Turkey, which pulls the entire alliance directly into this fight. And amidst all this strategy, we have to remember the human cost. The sinking of that ship wasn't just a tactical move, it was a real tragedy. Sri Lankan authorities pulled 87 bodies from the sea, a really stark reminder of the lives being lost out there. And if you think it's intense now, the top U.S. General, Dan Kenna, has made it crystal clear this is just the beginning. That phrase right there, progressively deeper, that signals a whole new, much more aggressive phase is about to begin. Now let's look inside Iran, because the conflict has created this massive power vacuum. The assassination of the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, has kicked off a succession crisis, and the whole process is already incredibly dangerous. So, the man everyone expects to take over is the late leader's son, Mojtaba Khamenei. He's a known hardliner, he's got deep ties to the powerful Revolutionary Guard, but here's the problem. He doesn't have his father's religious authority or popular support, which makes his grip on power shaky from the get-go. This is where things get really, really volatile. In what has to be an unprecedented public threat, Israel's defense minister has basically declared that any new leader will be considered a target. He's essentially putting a bullseye on the back of Iran's entire leadership. But look, this war isn't just being fought on the battlefield. It's also being fought at the gas pump and in the grocery store. The economic shockwaves are hitting ordinary people right in their wallets, far from the conflict zone. Just take a look at what's happening in Ireland. The price of home heating oil has jumped by €500 in a single week. Retailers are being accused of blatant price gouging. For so many families, this isn't an inconvenience, it is a full-blown crisis. And the economic pain is getting personal. The Irish government is charging its own citizens €800 per person to be evacuated from the region, a move that critics are, understandably, calling a shakedown. And these economic ripples are being felt in other conflicts too. With the world's attention now glued to Iran, Ukraine's President Zelensky is getting really worried that his country is going to lose the critical military aid it needs to survive. It's become a global competition for limited resources, and in this kind of zero-sum game, somebody always has to lose. A crisis like this also tests long-standing alliances, and right now it's creating some serious friction between even the closest partners, like the United States and the United Kingdom. And the language is getting personal. After the UK's Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, hesitated just a little bit on granting the US use of British military bases for the initial raids, Donald Trump went public and mocked him with this comment. Prime Minister Starmer's response was a classic diplomatic pushback. He basically said that the special relationship is built on quiet cooperation behind the scenes, not on public insults between leaders. And finally, for our last topic in this week's AI Weekly Digest, we're turning to a truly modern consequence of this war. It's one that completely blurs the line between the battlefield and the stock market, and frankly, it's a dystopian sign of the times.
It's a pretty disturbing question, isn't it? But the answer, it turns out, is yes. A new kind of online market is letting people do exactly that, placing bets on real-world events, and that includes military strikes. It's called Polymarket. It's a prediction market based on crypto, where users can bet on just about anything,
from who wins an election to, yes, the exact timing of a military attack.
And the profits can be absolutely astronomical. By correctly betting on the exact date of the U.S. strikes, one user walked away with over $500,000. They turned a global crisis into a personal windfall.
But it makes you ask, where is this information coming from? The fact that brand new accounts are popping up and making these huge, very specific bets has raised serious red flags. Is this just a lucky guess, or is someone actually trading on classified military intelligence? And so that's the question we're left with. In a world where war itself can be monetized, where does the battlefield actually end, and where does the stock market begin? This conflict is reshaping our world, and we're really only just beginning to understand the consequences. And that's the latest from Stephen AI FM, America at War, Iran under attack.